Hey guys, what is going on? This is JackAttack45, and today I'm going to be showing you guys another World Tanks video. Of course, everybody hates this isn't FIFA, but hey, I'm just going to say it, and I'll probably say it again at some point. I got pretty bored of FIFA, so now I'm playing some World of Tanks, and this is going to be Nhordski's replay, one of the guys that I play with a lot, actually. And he's a good guy, and he's playing with his friend X. And we are going to be playing the Type 61 today. Now, this is a pretty good matchup for Nhordski. It is basically a fully Tier 9 match. There is one Tier 10, a lot of Tier 8s, which is good for Nhordski. Now, the Type 61, what do you need to know about it? Well, it's got 10 degrees of gun depression. The turret armor, not so good. And as you guys can see, it does have a pretty strong cupola sticking out over top of the gun, so you do have to watch out for that. But this thing has an awesome gun, 105 millimeter, 390 average damage, and 258 pen at Tier 9. Now this thing is all about the DPM. Now the accuracy isn't as good as, let me make this map a little bit bigger for you guys. This thing is not as crazy of DPM as the Tier 10 is, but it definitely follows along that same vein. An 8.4 second reload is what Nhordski has it on to here. That's without food, I would assume, and I don't know if he has Brothers in Arms or not, but he's going to be looking to see if he can pick up the scout here, and that's an easy kill. So first kill right there for Nhordski. Now, the thing with the Type, and basically the Japanese tanks, Tier 8, you have the STA, which is what I'm on right now. And I'm pretty excited to get the Type 61. I want the DPM. I want that great 105 millimeter, but they have no armor really until you get to the Tier 10, and the Tier 10 has some amazing turret armor. So I'm really excited about the Tier 10. This tank is kind of in the middle. Now when Nhordski sent me this replay, I was like, dude, looks like a pretty great replay. Definitely going to think about uploading that one. And this is exactly what I would want for my Type 61s. A map with lots of hills, lots of areas where you can abuse the gun depression, abuse your ability to peek over ridges and fire and get out, because this thing cannot take shots at all. Just like the STA, it really can't take shots. The gun mantlet will get a few troll bounces here and there, but when you're facing Tier 9s and Tier 10s all the time, you're really going to have quite the issue. Now, like I said, the Tier 10 is a little bit different. Tier 10, you do get that nice sloped turret. The STB-1 does have a very nicely sloped turret. I think it also has 130 millimeters of turret armor, so that thing has some pretty strong effective armor. But as of right now, we are playing the Type 61. Nhordski is going to show us how to take out that 5100. So he's already done 1400 damage with 390 alpha. You really can't go wrong, especially on a medium tank like this. Now, it isn't as fast as the STB-1. And the STB-1, basically what these Japanese tanks are is they're kind of a mix between the American mediums and the British mediums, and really they all three of them have 10 degrees of gun depression. All the 8, 9, and 10. And when you look at it, you have the Patton with at Tier 9 with crazy DPM but no armor. This thing has pretty good DPM as well, a little bit more similar to the Patton, really, because you're going to probably get penned anywhere you get shot at. And then you look at the Centurion 7-1, which you can actually use your turret. So, you know, it's really what you want out of a tank. Out of the Tier 8s, which the 3 I'm on right now is Cent 1, STA, and Pershing, I would take the Cent 1 first. Then I would go with the probably the Pershing and then the STA. So I'm excited to see with the Tier 9s what happens, because I think I will actually like this tank the most, but we'll see. I'm working my way up right now, but as you can see, Nhordski here recognizes very well that the east flank has completely fallen, and obviously he's going to have a big issue with that. Now I think he might have zoomed in a little bit too much there. I think if he wasn't zoomed in as much, he might have got a little bit better shot on that T125, but hey, whatever. That shot goes high, hits that T-32's turret. Very unfortunate there. And X is actually clipping that T-32, so nice job by X in his Lorraine 40-ton. Now Nhordski has 3 kills already, only 1500 damage, so you know, he's not putting out that much damage yet, but don't worry, we will see how great this thing's DPM can be. Now, like I said, with this gun, it is a little bit more accurate. The Japanese guns tend to have a little bit higher DPM with a little bit less gun handling characteristics, so you really got to kind of balance it out a little bit. The Centurion Centurion line seems to be very pinpoint accurate, not as much DPM. This going to trade off a little bit of that pinpoint accuracy for that DPM. So what you want to do is you want to try to stay from short to medium ranges. If you can get this gun singing short to medium ranges, and this right here, 500-meter shot, you're not going to miss the side of the bore stick. But if you're trying to pinpoint some sort of weak spot with this gun, it is going to be a little bit more difficult than, say, the Centurion 1 is. But this E50 coming up over the ridge, poking up over the ridge, and it looks like he actually got tracked there. I think that was by X. But Nhordski is not going to be taking that shot. I'm so kind of surprised by that. Now he's going to take that shot. I was wondering why he wasn't taking that first shot. And it looks like X is reloaded in his 40-ton, putting a couple shots into that E50, and he's only on 87 hit points. So they're doing some work on these guys coming around this corner, and Nhordski is going to be shooting at that WZ lower plate, penning that. And I'm surprised that he didn't get... It didn't look like his sixth sense went off. I'm not sure if the WZ just knew he was there because somebody was telling Nhordski's position or on the other team, but surprising that he didn't get spotted. But whatever, we're going to be moving on. 2,600 damage so far, and right now this is kind of where the Type 61 shines. You know, medium to long ranges, working over people with that great gun, great penetration and great alpha, and he is up to 2,900 damage. Now he does take a shot there from an unspotted JP2, which is going to be a little bit of a problem for him because basically that position is ineffective. So what he's going to do is he's going to be relocating. X is going to be protecting that middle area, the F and E and F lines, and seeing if he can spot anything while Nhordski goes around. Now, surprisingly, the T110E5 is not pushed yet. He's actually just kind of stood up at A7, A8 area, and he hasn't actually pushed, which is kind of surprising because I think the T110E5 should know that there's only two tanks over there. But nonetheless, Nhordski decides that X has got this flank covered, and he's going to go looking for this Lerva. And nice shot there into the side of the Lerva. Now, with the Type 61, if you're going against lower tier tanks, you have so much penetration that you don't actually have to be that accurate. You don't have to aim for weak points. But when you do get those against those higher tier tanks, you are going to have to aim it a little bit longer. Now you can see Nhordski there. He kind of did a little bit of a snapshot on that Lerva, which was fine in that situation because he has his side. And once again, a little bit off there, aimed a little bit too far in front. This APCR does travel pretty fast. Now, the one thing I have noticed when I've watched a few Type 61 replays is how much ammo this thing gets. Not very much. Nhordski is down to his last 18 rounds, and he only has 7 rounds of APCR left. So, if you're in a big situation like this where you have to do a lot of damage, you might be paying a bit of money with those heat rounds. Obviously, they're going to be a bit more expensive than those APCR rounds that do come standard on this tank. So, you got to be willing to spend some money on this tank if you're going to be doing a lot of damage, because you will have to use some of those heat rounds, some of those premium rounds as well. But hey, if you're doing lots of damage, you're going to be making lots of money, so I guess there's nothing wrong with that. So far, Nhordski has 5 kills. This JP2 has actually come up and tried to push onto X, and I don't think that's a good idea at all. X is just completely working this guy over, and he should clip him there. Nice job by X in his 40-ton. Not really sure why that JP2 would come up like that, but this T110E5 has some very interesting position. Now he's kind of just out in the middle of the open field. Nhordski looked like he was aiming for his track there, but he thought better of it, which is probably a good idea. Like I said, this tank does not have the best accuracy. Ooh, he does take a 485 damage shot from that Waffenträger, and then another 467 damage from the T110E5. I think he definitely overstayed his welcome on that ridge, but he is still alive with 278 hit points. Now that is what's key. If you are going to take risks like that, be on the top of that hill, when you know there is tank destroyers back up behind you, you got to have enough hit points, and he actually does have enough hit points. So that was lucky. That was very lucky, because they are still down 1 tank. It is 4 tanks to 5 at the moment. And it looks like the T-54E1 is not happy about the situation at base. He is going along the western flank, hopefully trying to pick off that T-28 and the Waffenträger. We'll see what happens over there. Now Nhordski is going to go back to basically his original position. A little bit more defensive this time because he does only have 278 hit points. And he's got to take out that E50M. That E50M has been spotting him. And the E50 actually thinks, not E50M, E50 actually thinks that he is still over at F4. So good job from Nhordski relocating. That is the strength of mediums like this. You can relocate and put shots into people's sides. So now they think he's at that position. So what he's going to do is he's going to relocate once again, I hope. Or maybe he's going to go back up to the same position. We will see. Haven't watched this replay fully yet, so it will be a surprise to you as much as it is to me. I guess we're going to go back up to the same spot. At this point, it doesn't really matter. What X has to do is just spot while Nhordski is putting shots into their side. They do kind of have to worry about this T110E5 capping, but from his recent performance, you know, just kind of sitting down there in the open, I really don't think he's going to be pushing up anytime soon. Now, Nhordski is already on a Top Gun, so that is very good for him, and there are 4 tanks left, so I guess if he gets all of them, he could have a Pools medal. I know he sent this replay to me because it was amazing, so I guess we will find out, but at this point in the game, it's just kind of positioning. You got to be able to move around, and mediums allow you to do that, especially the Type 61. It's not as fast as other mediums, but it still gets the job done. It's not as slow as the Scent, but I would say it's not as fast as something like a Leopard prototype. But as you can see here, nice shots into that Waffenträger. I'm not really sure what that Waffenträger was doing, pointing his gun up in the air like that. But good job from the T-54E1 for going around and spotting their base. Now the T-54E1 looks like he's about to start the cap, and Nhordski's going to try to position himself somewhere where he can... Oh, perfect. That is the most glorious sight to see. A turretless tank destroyer with his butt right to you. So Nhordski is going to do a good job here, keeping him tracked. And since there is no artillery, Nhordski doesn't even have to move at all. He can just sit here and shoot this guy right in the back right drive wheel. And this T-28 prototype really has nothing that he... Or T-28, excuse me, really has nothing that he can do. And this is just complete and utter damage farm right there. Nice job. All of that T-28's health was donated to Mr. Nhordski, so good job on that one. And that's what you need to do. You really just need to be repositioning yourself, trying to catch people off guard in mediums like this. And Nhordski's been working the hill the whole time, which has actually paid off very well for him. Already has 8 kills. Now, what just happened here? M103 went back, was able to take out the T-54E1, so that is interesting. But the good thing about that is we do know where this E5 is, and we know where the M103 is. Bad thing, Nhordski cannot take a shot from either one of those guys. So this T110E5 looks to, seems to know where Nhordski is right now, but he is driving in a very interesting direction. Looks like his turret is turned. Nhordski had heat loaded and puts it straight through the side of the T110E5's turret. Now, we have X and Nhordski and a T-28 prototype who has been camping the base for a while now. Nhordski has 9 kills. X has 2. Now, I would assume that Nhordski is going to get the 10th kill, but we will see. They know where the M103 is. Oh, and surprise, he came up right below him. Oh, and the bounce from the M103. Let's see where that one bounced. Oh my goodness, that just barely hit the outer part of Nhordski's gun mantlet. Now, to say that was lucky is a complete and total understatement. He probably should be dead. That was a good play from the M103. I did not expect that one at all. That's not where I would have expected him to be, and that was a really good play from the M103. But now we need to figure out what is going on with this M103. He is just trying to carry, and I'm kind of surprised that Nhordski decides to back off here. He's probably just going to wait for the T-28 prototype. That's probably the best play, and wait for backup pretty much. You want to go 2v1 as opposed to 1v1, which X just tried, and the M103 is actually circled back and actually made a really good play on X, so good plays from the M103. Nice to see that guy picking up some kills, but we still want Nhordski to get that Pools medal, so let's see if he can. He's going to be poking this ridgeline once again, using and abusing his gun depression, and the M103 actually pushed back around the other side of the hill, so he's definitely spotted now. M103 knows where he's at, and I wouldn't be surprised if this M103 just tried to rush him. I don't think the M103 has spotted the T-28 prototype yet, and if he has, I don't think he would rush into 2 people, but I don't think he has yet. Nhordski is in a very precarious situation here. He needs to be able to track him, and he does track him. Very, very nice shot, and I'm not really sure why the M103 just ignores Nhordski, but there it is. The 10th kill, the Pools medal, 6,100 damage. I'll round up. 6,086 damage. Awesome, awesome game. Let's go on over to the score screen and check out just how awesome that game was. Alright, and here we are over at Mr. Nhordski's score screen, and look at that 6k plus damage, Pools medal, ace tanker in the Type 61, 12,000 win 8, not too bad there. and he actually ended up making 81,000 credits for a total profit of 27,000, even with a few heat rounds fired there at the end. Like I said, this tank does not carry much ammunition, so Nhordski actually had to use a few heat rounds there at the end. I was about to say Pool's Medal because I was so surprised. No, I wasn't surprised. Crucial Contribution, Pool's Medal, High Caliber, Top Gun, Mastery Badge. Awesome job there. He hit 92% of his shots, which, of course, was pretty planned. I mean, so much damage there. So much damage. Him and X together did about 10,400 damage, which is pretty crazy. 12 kills between them. And when Nhordski sent me this replay, he basically said it was a one-man crucial. But hey, X did very well for himself as well. So good job, X. Good job, Nhordski. Way to carry the game, guys. Awesome platoon plays there. That is how you turn a losing situation into a win. And Nhordski is now my teammate or clanmate on Fugitive, so I'm looking forward to playing with him more, of course. Thank you for sending us in, Nhordski. And if any other Fugitive players or anybody else wants to send in any replays, just make sure to message me on World Tanks. You guys should know my in-game name. It's Dr. Jack Attack 45. Guys, if you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like down in the comments section below. I know I enjoyed that one. It was an awesome game. Great job, Nhordski. Well done. Well played. Hopefully I get as good a result in my Type 61 as you did there. Guys, this has been Jack Attack 45, signing out. Peace.